Welcome, Aquarius. This is your monthly focus for December 2022. So let's dive right into the astrology. Next, we'll follow it by the tarot cards, and we'll have an oracle card at the end. So, the first thing that's happening is we walk into December 2022 with the sun in Sagittarius. So, this is a lot about your friendship circles. This is about the teams that you are on, the groups that you belong to. Maybe it's a group within a group, like at work, you're on some kind of brainstorming kind of energy, council or committee. Okay, and it's really learning experiences through these groups, adventures, opportunities that come through these groups are all things that are happening in your life probably right now as we speak and as we go through the first part of the month. Also, Mars will be in retrograde for the entire month of December, and that is your fifth house. So that is about your happiness, your joy, your giggles, your laughter. This isn't about creating new experiences, but rather growing on some of the things that already make you happy, that are already in place in your life. And to grow them, expand them. It's kind of like when Mars is retrograde in Gemini, Mars retrograde, our lives are under construction, okay? Mars is our wanting to face the challenges and go after the successes and be the independent and be the pioneer. And when we're in retrograde, we really can't do that. I mean, we want to jump on our stallions and yell charge, but we just can't seem to even get out of bed. Oh my goodness. So it's kind of like that kind of energy. So it's not so much about pushing forward, and it won't be for the month of December for you, especially when it comes to creating new joys and happiness in your life, but to really expand on some of the things that already make you happy, already make you joyful, is where you're going to find the most use of your energy into creating your best life ever. Absolutely. December the 7th, the Capricorn party begins, okay? And that means that your 12th house slowly comes alive for the entire month, okay? And it just gets stronger and stronger and stronger. So pay attention to the very beginning of it all, December the 7th, when Mercury moves into Capricorn. So yes, Pluto's been there, but Pluto's been there for quite some time. And we're probably not going to talk about anything really coming together with Pluto until January. So for December, Pluto's really kind of not even a main player for this. And there might be some smaller transits that they are, but we're not going to go into every transit for the month for you. That would take way too long. So Mercury going into Capricorn, for you, it's about change, transformation, death and rebirth. It's about becoming the dreamer of what you really want to bring into your life, and starting to think about it, starting to talk about it, starting to read about it, learn about certain aspects that you want to step into, and just kind of get some feelers out there, through talking. Maybe talk to somebody who's already walked that path so that you can find out what they did wrong so you don't do it wrong and you just do it right the first time around. December the 8th, we'll have a full moon in Gemini. And this is really, once again, it's about really understanding where your creativity has been trapped, or it hasn't been expressed in the way you want it, or you haven't utilized it in the way you wanted to, or just creating joy and happiness and laughter in your life. Being the independent and being strong, voicing who you are. So it's a strength that comes in, a courage that you can embrace to really go after some wonderful things in your life. So we're looking at the things perhaps that don't do this for us, that actually pull us in the other direction, and releasing that, letting go, healing from it. Okay. Also pay attention to any kind of negotiations you have going on and how you deal with people, especially when it comes to your words, what you speak, and what you hear. December the 10th, Venus now moves into Capricorn, and this is love. This is a spiritual love. This is a love that can't be put into words or can't be described, or there can't be a dollar point on it. Like, it just can't be bought kind of things. It's precious and it's endearing. And this could be very much your dreams and your hopes and your desires for going forward, the passion that you can have going forward if you stepped into certain paths that you know are available for you. You know, we're looking at our best life ever, right? That really is the end goal. That's, you know, that's the big end picture, but we've got all these different goals that lead up to that point in time for us. And it's about expanding the dream and what can be in your life. And then when you start to identify some of those great passions that you do have, then start following those passions very consistently. Okay? And you will bring it to life. You will bring it to life. Okay? It's also it's about growing abundance, it's about growing love in your life, but mainly it's about growing your greatest passions in your life. And, you know, saying I'm giving it 5 minutes a day or 20 minutes a day, and I'll give it longer if I should, but or if I can. You know, it's like I'll give my kitchen 5 minutes a day. Okay, besides just doing what I have to do in the kitchen, I'll give it an extra 5 minutes. I'll go in there and I'll just clean for 5 minutes, and when 5 minutes is up, I'm done. And sometimes you get lost in it, right? And 3 hours later, you're like, oh my gosh, I got to sit down and take a break. This is ridiculous. Look at what I've done so far. And other times it's grueling just to get through those 5 minutes, but you consistently give those 5 minutes regardless. And the time that is most important to give it that 5 minutes is when you definitely do not want to do it for those 5 minutes. Okay, that's what matters. That's what pushes it through. That's where the roadblocks start to come in if we allow it, okay? On December the 20th, we will have Jupiter going into Aries. So as we are walking through the month of December until the 20th, you're looking at your finances, how your money can work for you, how it can grow for you, maybe different investments that you want to do, how to maybe create a second income. And then once the 20th hits and until May of 2023, it's really about your voice. Okay? It's about your voice and your communication, what you're learning, what you're thinking, what you're taking in. But it's more than that. It's about your transformation. And you might find for the next, up till May, that you see different things that you want to do, and so you're doing this and it's fun, and then it kind of gets boring, but you see this over here, and so you go over here and you start doing that because that looks fun and inviting, and then maybe you're going to go over here and try this, but this was left undone. And so the cycle goes where we're almost childlike in our experiences. We're the kids that we're on the swings, but 5 minutes later we've decided to go down the slide, and now we're in the sandbox, and now we want to go swimming, and now we're back at the swings again, and we just kind of jump all over the place for new experience after new experience after new experience, and taking in so much each and every time. But so if you feel that your commitment is something that, don't push yourself too hard, because that is the energy that is around you till May, for you to try out a whole bunch of different things. Don't worry. If your attention was good enough on it, you will circle back to that eventually. It's not you need to, okay? But really, when it comes to your passions, we have to be, we got to have some consistency there. So every time we go to the park, we have to be on the swings for 5 minutes. We can do all other kinds of stuff, but we have to make a point of being on those swings for 5 minutes when we go to the park each and every time. So that does that make sense? Or am I making the waters much muddier than they need to be? On December 21st, the sun moves into your dreamscape, your dreams. The spotlight goes on your dreams, your goals, your wishes, your desires, your spirituality, okay? And growing your spirituality and deepening your spirituality, okay? When the sun goes into Capricorn, and it also marks the day of the winter solstice. So you can make some resolutions around that, some goals around the solstice, and how you're allowing things to, and think of it, it is the winter solstice. So what are we praising? That blanket to come over and rejuvenate us, to strengthen us, so that when we are ready to go forward, I don't see this as a month that you're just going to be rah 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 and go go go, really, even though that little Gemini thing I said there, I see it more of a sit back, more dreamscape kind of energy for you for the whole month. So turn it towards meditation and journaling and praying and sitting in contemplation and going for walks in nature, and that kind of thing, to really ground yourself in nature, ground yourself in the vibration of the earth and what's around you. On December the 23rd, the new moon comes into Capricorn. So this is when we start making our plan. We start making the plan. We start making the strategy for the things that we want to create in our life going forward. Absolutely. And this could be almost anything for you. Okay, really, it really could be. Yeah, it's like you're on your way to a new beginning. There's some endings that need to have happen throughout the month of December, and maybe even leading into January. After that, of course, the sun will be shining bright on you yourself and really going forward. But this is a time to start making a couple of steps, a couple of changes, especially when it comes to your spirituality, especially when it comes to your best life ever, and really bringing in joy and laughter and allowing your creativity to flow in some way. Okay, let's go to the cards, shall we? Okay, the bottom two cards I will take without looking at them because it's more fun for me. And it is, oh, look at this, the Four of Pentacles. You're not the only one to get this. What are you holding on to? What are you holding on to that is actually holding you back from where you want to go in life? Do you really feel that you have to stay in the neighborhood because that makes your parents happy? Or, I don't know who is supposed to hear that, because that just came, I've never used that one before. So that was somebody knowing they knew you were going to watch this video. They're going to make you watch this video so that you heard that. It's, what are you holding on to that's actually holding you back from the steps that you want to take going forward? Now, the card underneath it, look at this. Look at your dreams. Look at your desires, okay? And what was in front of it? The things that are blocking it, the things that you are holding on to. Oh my gosh, can't let this go. Might not have any value, but it did. Once upon a time, I think. What are we holding on to? To let the sense of freedom and liberation to come into our lives, to go with the flow, to let our hair down and feel the sun on our face and the wind in our hair, and to just laugh for the sake of laughing and dancing for the sake of dancing. Because underneath that, what you are blocking are the pure potential of passions coming true, dreams coming true, fantasies becoming a reality. This is a promise of new beginnings, of new starts, of whatever you want. Will there be challenges along the way? Yes. Will you love every moment of it? Yes. Well, 99.9%, okay? So we have to get rid of those blocks, right? It was completely in front of that card. There was no chance for that dream to come through, for us to see that potential for our dreams, for our desires, our wants, because we are holding onto things. Maybe we're holding onto that job because at least we know we get a paycheck for X number of dollars every week. So we're stuck. Okay? The potential, the pure potential of your dreams, your desires cannot push through that. You're blocking it. So start looking for things that work more towards your passions, your dreams, your desires, your talents, your abilities. Okay, our first card is, look at this, the Five of Cups. Don't look at what didn't work in the past, okay? Nothing that happens to us is good or bad. It's how we perceive it. Okay, and there's a story, something about that, where this man, he had a stray horse came onto his property, and he had this beautiful horse, and so that gave his family a lot of value within the small community they lived in, and everybody praised him. Oh, what good luck you have, and having this horse is, now you can barter against it, and it's strong, it can do a lot of work for you. What a joy it is, it must be, to have this horse. And the farmer said, well, it's good and bad, right? And then something happened with his son. His son, the horse trampled him, and he had to lose a leg. So they said, oh, it's so bad about that, your son, and how he was trampled. And he says, well, I don't know if it's good or bad. It just happened. And then the army came around and gathered up all the young men, and his son didn't have to go to war because he only had the one leg. Oh, what a relief. Your son isn't going to war. You don't have to worry about him. He won't get shot. He won't get killed for sure. What a great thing happening to you. And it was, I don't know, good or bad. I don't know. It's how we perceive the situations at the time that motivates us on how we react to it, on how we feel about it. And this is where we can really spiral downwards. We can really beat ourselves up. We can really think negative of what we can't do, or we shouldn't have done, or we shouldn't have said, or we should have said, or we should have done, but we didn't. And we look back on, this didn't work, and that didn't work, and I messed this up here. And truly, that is really just your perception. But what you really need to do is look around, because there is opportunities awaiting you. Because on this side of this shoreline here, look at that. We've got two empty goblets sitting straight up, ready to be filled with any kind of dream, passion, joy that you have planned for it. We have Temperance, having more by having less, and really understanding the true balance. What makes you feel happy? What makes you feel secure? What makes you feel safe? What makes you feel love, laughter, joy? And get to know yourself a little bit better. Absolutely. This is having more by having less, so maybe getting rid of some of the clutter would be very advantageous for you. And this is finding the right recipe. So I know if we open up a magazine, we will have at least 1,000 different ways to make our lives better by taking this pill, wearing those shoes, wearing this deodorant, trying out this perfume, wearing this jewelry. The list goes on and on and on, right? And then we see 10 of our friends do it, so we do it too because they're doing it, and look at how happy they are that they're doing it, so I'm going to try it. But then you don't get the happiness from it, but you keep doing it because they get happy out of it. So maybe I just don't realize the happiness. I don't know. So stop doing it. If it's not doing anything for you, stop doing it. And start doing the things that matter to you, matter for your growth, matter to fuel your passions, your consistency, your self-discipline to drive you towards where you need to be each and every moment in order to really step into that best life ever scenario. And we have the Seven of Swords. Okay, be careful of who you're sharing your story with. Okay, and I just had this for, I forget what sign, but maybe if you go back and you watch your moon, your rising, your sun, maybe it's one of those videos and you'll get this message twice. Now, first of all, we only need to take what we actually need in order to go forward. So you see how we walk by those two swords that are sitting straight up? We didn't even have to break a stride in order to grab those swords, right? It would have been easy peasy. But we left them because we don't really need them. Even though they look great, we really don't need them. We need the one that's laying on the ground, though. So we make the effort to take with us what we know we need to take with us. We also ignore what we don't need that will just be extra to carry, burden us in some way, weigh us down. Also, don't be too trusting this month of sharing your story with people. Okay, so imagine going into work and you had this light bulb moment the night before, and you come in and you tell your buddy that you work with, listen, I had this idea for work. If we did this, this, and this, wouldn't it be a lot smoother around here? And your buddy's, oh yeah, that sounds like a great idea. Yeah, I'm gonna present it to the boss, right? I'm just gotta wait for the right time. But I'm gonna present it to the boss. You think he'll like it? Yeah, he'll like it, or they'll like it, or she'll like it. And you go off to the washroom and you're getting ready, and you come back out and you see your buddy with the door closed in the boss's office selling your idea to them as if it's theirs, and they're getting the promotion. They're getting the pat on the back. So there's that kind of energy. There's also the kind of energy where they sit there and they ask you 1,000 questions about your dreams, your goals, your passions, and when you're honest with them and you tell them what you really see as your future, they sound very supportive at the time, and then they turn around to their friends and they say, you'll never believe what they told me. Hang on, this is their future. Wait a second, sit down, you're going to want to hear this. And almost ridicule you or tear away your integrity in some way in order to make themselves look, popular, right? Popular. Okay, work and career. The King of Wands. I love the King of Wands. Just get doing it. Okay? Just do it and enjoy it and smile and throw yourself into it. So I would have to think that one of the passions we're talking about is what you do day in and day out. And it's really getting excited about what you're doing. I mean, this is the most informal king of the deck. He doesn't really stand on ceremony as much and tradition as much. He's got enough information to know that he's making the right decision going forward, and it's time to get moving on it. We can overthink it, we can overlearn in order to step into it, we can overplan, we can over-strategize. It'll never be the right moment. The King of Wands is saying, no, we really need to step into something. We really need to start bringing it alive. Maybe it's only going to be alive in your thoughts right now, or maybe it's going to be alive on a piece of paper. I don't really think we're stepping into a lot of new experiences under the current conditions, but we can. I think it'll be a lot tougher in order to do it, though. So if you don't have a job, I would say something entrepreneurial might actually be fantastic for you here, especially if you can bring in people to help you just because they've got extra time and they want to help you. Because trust me, your excitement will make them want to be a part of it, okay? And they will work for free, okay? I'm just saying, pizza maybe, and they'll be happy around a coffee. If you are in a job, it's about getting that passion back for that job, enjoying your job, making the best out of your job. I knew somebody that every day when they drove to work, they would say, I'm going to play now. And they said that over the several weeks, work got to be a lot of fun. Well, I was doing the exact same thing. I was showing up. I was doing the same shift. It was the same thing day in and day out, but it got more fun somehow by using those words on his way to work each day. So, create the happiness, create the joy, create the laughter, create the giggles, okay? And that's really a core of your December energy is by creating that laughter or stepping into that laughter or allowing yourself to experience that laughter. Or it could be that you just want to kind of jump out and do something that you've always wanted to do. Or this could be a promotion that you want to step into at work. Start doing the work now, as if you already have that promotion in some way without, stepping on toes or anything. And just start pretending that you're already at that spot. That's kind of the King of Wands. And then people will want to help you move forward because you're just so sure and excited and pumped about it. Your energy is just right to attract the help, the support you need. For love and relationships, the Eight of Cups. Now, sometimes we have to walk away from the things we love in order to go after our dreams. Well, this might be a decision that you're making right now in your life, a few of you at least. Because that's the first thing I got. So your angels, your guides are working very strongly and led you to this video today to hear this. That sometimes we have to walk away from the things we love in life in order to go after the great journey, the great opportunity, the passions. Most times this means that we do have to let go of some of the things that we love short term, but since it showed up in love and relationships, it's almost like you have to say, I love being around you people, but I have to do this right now, and so I'm going to be a no-show for the next 3 months. And I hope you forgive me, and I hope you'll have me back when I'm ready to come back. But right now I'm going in this direction. But you really love that, but you have to sacrifice it short term in order to really get a footing in the things that you are trying to create going forward. So it could be long distance relationships come into play here, or there's just a space. It's not necessarily that you're ending anything, but you do need to move forward, and in order to move forward you can't have that close association that you once did with a person, people, community. Our spirituality is the Eight of Pentacles. I've seen this twice now. This is, when it comes to spirituality, you're strong in some way. You do. You tap into things. You know things. You're very spiritual. You're a giving person, and it is how you express your spirituality. Okay, I don't expect you to be in the temple praying for 18 hours a day in order to be really spiritual. It could be just that you take the time to notice where people need help, and you are the first one there. Maybe it's to open the door so that somebody can put their groceries in their car, although people are all scared about that. Opening the door when you and holding it open for you. And I tell you, us Canadians are the worst, because I could be like way back there and somebody sees you and they wait. They wait for you, and so you start jogging up to the door. Canadians are really bad for being that polite. And we'll see somebody and it's like, oh, I'll wait for them, I'll hold the door for them, and then the other person's like, oh my gosh, they're waiting for me, I better hurry. And anyways, the Eight of Pentacles is telling ourselves that we can raise the bar in some way. So maybe you're looking for things in your community where you can be of service, where you can give of yourself in that way. Because that is probably the most spiritual approach to just love one another, right? That's the most spiritual approach to life I know of, is just loving everybody and knowing that there's some beauty there, even when they don't give you any indication that there is beauty, and going in search of that beauty sometimes in order to find it, in order to, I remember when my mom, she was having problems with her eyes, and so we were going to quite a few different places, and we went to this one place, and of course I would try and get on the nurse's good side and the doctor's good side, and try and find a common ground where we had something in common besides my mom needs help here, and so that they would work with me and give her the best care, right? And this one nurse at this point, she wasn't giving me an inch. No matter what I brought up, she'd just look at me like I was interrupting her and her duties, and I was slowing down the process and just be quiet and sit in the corner. And then I noticed, her socks, and her socks were really cute, and I don't even remember what they were, if there was turtles on them or puppy dogs on them or rainbows on them, and I thought, she's so stern, and then she's wearing these socks. And I said, oh my goodness, I love your socks. Well, it went into a 20-minute discussion about her socks and her drawer full, and how people get these socks for her because they know she loves them, and she always tries to find a different, and what a beautiful bond we made there. But I had to search for it, because I could have stopped at some point and said, you know what, there's no getting through to her, she's just mean, she's just going to stay mean, don't matter what I do. So sometimes you still have to search, to scratch the surface in order to find the beauty of that person and how to bring it out. So this is in some way raising the bar on your spirituality. Maybe you're going to give yourself time to meditate, or more time to meditate, or pray, or to walk in nature and get grounded, or be of service to people, or to work on a skill, a psychic skill of some sort. For health and well-being, we've got the Queen of Pentacles. The storm is over. So if you've been feeling under the weather, know that you're going to start feeling better and better each and every day as you go forward. Okay, that there is a sense of abundance in who you are and how you feel, and you've got control of that magic to a point, but to know that the storm is over. So over the last couple of years, we've all had that fear of health and well-being. Will we be healthy? If I go to the store today, will I be healthy tomorrow? And so we all seem to have that, and it's kind of like the storm is over. We know now how to take care of ourselves when we're in public. Whether or not we opt to do those things, that's completely up to the individual. So it's up to you and what you feel comfortable with in order to keep yourself healthy, and I think you have a very good knowledge of how to do that. So it's applying it and taking care of you and knowing that the storm is over. Okay, so where we all had these cloaks on, we can slowly remove those cloaks and come alive and step into the world again and enjoy the world the way we once did, if not more or better. Let's get a Rose Oracle card for you. Oh my goodness, it doesn't want to come up here. Okay, after the rain. Silver, the storm has passed. Silver lining, relief, hope, mercy. It's over. Acceptance. And really, you do have a lot of stuff happening in the 12th house. And that is the endings. It's over. Right? So, anyways, let me get the page up in the book, and then I will hold the card up, and you can look at the card and meditate on the picture while I read the description, because the descriptions are beautiful. There's something very special and sacred about the moment after it stops raining. The atmosphere has released all that it was holding, and in turn, the earth has been cleansed, replenished, and nourished. It's a similar feeling to the moment after we stop crying. As those salty, healing waters fall, they activate oxytocin and endorphins, which create a shift in how we feel. What was once overwhelming now seems possible, and while we may not be able to know it consciously, noticeable growth will soon follow. After the rain is all about hope, healing, beginnings, and endings. Emotions are soothed, broken hearts are on the mend. Times of trial are over. Mercy can be felt. There's a moment of relief. A new and encouraging silver lining can now be made out in the distance. What's been challenging and difficult has or is about to ease up. If you've been going through a challenging time, this card is here to reassure you that things are about to ease. You've been through the worst of it, and now hope is here. These past weeks, months, maybe even years haven't been straightforward. They've likely asked you to dig deep and endure hardships that have tested you. But now, at long last, there is smooth seas ahead. What you've learned and how you've grown can never be taken away from you. And now it is time to enjoy the warmth of the blessings that life has in store for you. Glorious new beginnings are now possible. And so the question you need to ask yourself this month is, what am I ready to release? So I love the way this deck sums up the reading so well for you. Okay? So what is it you are ready to release? And until we meet again, remember, I do love you.